Yo, what is up? It's your boy D2 Titans only, and if you ain't a crayon eating titan, get out of here. I'm just kidding, guys. Anybody can watch this video, but it is going to be way more beneficial to my fellow crayon eating titans since we are going over a titan build. For this build, I'm going to start off with the subclass. We are going to be running Prismatic Titan, and for our super ability, we're going to be running Twilight Arsenal. If you haven't ran Twilight Arsenal, you need to turn it on and run it because this is the best super ability the Titan has right now, in my opinion. It nukes characters. You can absolutely nuke tormentors with it, and then when you're using it on bosses, it also weakens bosses and helps your teammates do more damage to said bosses. But we are running the Twilight Arsenal for this build. Jumping into our abilities, we are running Rally or Towering Barricade. Either one's great. I like Rally Barricade better because it's shorter and my teammates don't blow themselves up on it with rocket launchers. We're going to be running Strafe Lift, Frenzied Blade, and Shackle Grenade. So essentially, Frenzied Blade uses 3 melees, and it's just a great melee ability that does lots of damage, quick and easy to use, and charges up pretty quickly. And then we're going to be running Shackle Grenade because it's going to help us string up enemies and keep us alive and just keep the room clear for the most part. For our aspects, we are going to be running Consecration. So what Consecration gives us is the ability to use our Flaming Titan Hammer Slam when we're sliding, and we're going to have 3 of those since we are running Frenzied Blade, and it is just absolutely insane to have 3 of them. You're going to be blowing things up, seeing lots of flames in the battlefield, and just clearing ads like a mofo. Moving on to our next aspect is Dringer's Lash. So essentially we're running Dringer's Lash because we're running Barricade, but what that's going to do is going to allow us to string up more enemies and keep our teammates alive and CC any sort of foe that we run into. Now we're going to talk about our prismatic fragments. So the first prismatic fragment we're running is Prismatic Fragment Facet of Justice. While transcendent, your ability final blows explode. So this build is all about being transcendent, so when we're transcendent, our melee kills are going to explode and clear battlefield out with no problem. The next prismatic fragment we're running is the Facet of Dawn. Powered melee hits against targets make you radiant. Powered melee final blows make you and nearby allies radiant. So radiant's going to increase our damage after we get final blow kills and our final blow melee kills, and it's also going to make our allies radiant, so everybody's going to be doing more damage, and it's just going to be a great time. And I'm sure our allies are going to appreciate it. And then the next prismatic fragment we're going to be running is the Facet of Balance. Rapidly defeating targets with light damage grants melee energy. Rapidly defeating targets with darkness grants grenade energy. So this is a really melee focused build, so that first part of this fragment is going to be really important. Anytime we get a kill with light damage, multiple kills rapidly with light damage, we are going to generate a lot of melee energy, and we're just going to be able to keep clearing the room with our empowered melee. The next prismatic fragment we have is Facet of Blessing. Melee final blows start health regeneration while transcendent. Melee final blows start health regeneration for you and nearby allies. So essentially what this is going to do is we're a Titan and we're going to be in the middle of the room using melees all the time. So we're going to be taking a lot of damage, and this is going to keep us from dying while we're taking said damage. So anytime we use that melee kill, we're going to be getting a lot of health back, and we're not going to be dying, and our enemies are going to be really frustrated with this. The next prismatic fragment we're going to talk about is the Facet of Grace. So defeating targets with kinetic weapons grants you bonus transcendence energy. Defeating targets with your super grants you and nearby allies bonus transcendence energy. Essentially, prismatic is all about being transcendent, and this is going to help us be transcendent as much as possible. We're going to be running a kinetic heavy weapon, and you guys will see what I'm talking about in a few minutes, and you'll really understand why this is an important aspect or prismatic fragment to have. And then the last prismatic fragment is the Facet of Mending. Grenade final blows cure you. Transcendent grenade final blows increase the strength of the effect. So essentially we're just going to get lots of health back from grenade final blows, especially when we're transcendent, and it's great to just stay alive and not die. Survivability is really important in Destiny, if you guys didn't know. So moving right along to our weapons. So once again, this is a really focused melee build. So we're going to be running Swordbreaker. Essentially, Swordbreaker has these 2 perks. One is Pugilist. Final blows with this weapon generate improved melee energy. Dealing melee damage briefly improves this weapon handling. So anytime we get a kill with Swordbreaker, our melee energy is going to go up, and we're going to be generating it. So we're going to be able to use melee again. And then we have 1-2 punch. Hitting a target with nearly every pellet in a shot increases melee damage. So Anytime we use melee after we hit a target with every shot in the Swordbreaker, we're going to be doing more melee damage than normal, which is awesome. And then we're going to be running Perfect Pitch. So Perfect Pitch is a weapon you can get from Zavala or Drifter, just from completing Gambit or Vanguard activities. Essentially you just have to level them up and get it, but this weapon's awesome. You can get enhanced perks on it, and 2 of them you can get are Subsistence, which is really good, and then the other one is Incandescent. This is great for ad clear, and it's also great for just, it's really fun to use. The weapon feels awesome. It feels like I'm using Call of Duty 4 MP5 with a silencer. But anyway, Perfect Pitch, love the gun, really great for this build. And then for our final weapon, we're going to be using the microcosm. So essentially the microcosm is a heavy trace rifle that uses kinetic energy, and it deals massive bonus damage to enemies with shields. So it also does massive damage in general, because this thing absolutely one-shots. Paired with Twilight Arsenal, I've been using this and just nuking tormentors that I run into. So this is a really important part of the build. You can also use it to ad clear and generate lots of Transcendence energy, so you can get your melee and Transcendence back up quickly, and it just blows things up. If you guys don't have the microcosm yet, there's a link below below this video. Essentially, I made a video on how to get the microcosm. It'll be there, and it's pretty easy to follow. It's quick and short. It'll help you guys out. And then for our armor pieces and our stats for the final part of this build, I'm going to talk about those. We want 100 resilience and 100 melee. And then obviously, if you can get grenade as high as possible, that's great, because it's good to be able to throw multiple grenades and utilize melee and just loop all your abilities together. For our helmet, we're going to be running double kinetic siphon. We're going to be creating orbs of power when we get rapid final weapon blows with our microcosm. And then we're running heavy ammo finder, because you always need heavy ammo finder when you're running something. And then we're going to be running gauntlets, and I mean obviously, but our gauntlets are going to have double heavy-handed. So anytime we get melee final blows, we're going to create orbs of power for our teammates. And then I threw fastball on because I have OCD and I wanted the 10 to be filled out completely. For our chest piece, it's pretty generic here. We're going to run just resistant mods. I have sniper and concussive dampener because I hate getting sniped and I hate getting grenaded. And then I've got harmonic resistance, but you can run whatever you need depending on what mission you're on. For our legs, we are going to run recuperation. So anytime we pick up an orb of power, we're going to be healing, which is great for durability and staying alive. And then we're going to run invigoration, which reduces our melee cooldown each time you pick up an orb. And I'm running 2 of these because I want my melee back up as fast as possible. And then for our final armor piece, it's the most important part of the build, is the stoicism. I got a great roll on it on my first try. But the armor perks we want for this build are going to be Spirits of Severance, Powered Melee, or Finisher Final Blows unleash a damaging explosion. So it's a really focused melee build. Anytime we get a melee or finisher, we release an explosion. And then Spirit of Contact, damaging a target with a powered melee causes all nearby targets to suffer lightning strikes and become jolted. So on top of those explosions, we're going to get lots of lightning, and it's going to chain around to multiple enemies, which is a great effect. And so if that chain of lightning kills an enemy, that enemy also explodes, is what I've noticed. And this is insane. Bungie absolutely broke exotic class items, and I love it. And then for our mods, we're going to run Double Outreach, which reduces melee cooldown when you're using your class ability. And then Distribution reduces all ability cooldowns when using your class ability near targets. Essentially, we're just going to be generating ability energy with both of these and getting our melee and grenade back up a lot faster. So that's the build, guys. I'm going to play some gameplay after this of the actual build in use, and you guys can see how overpowered it is and how you can string abilities together. Also, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. It's been a great ride for my 2 videos, and it's been exciting to create videos, and I hope you guys have a great day. Peace. As always, guys, thanks for watching. I'm going to post some screenshots here of the build so you guys can see it. Feel free to pause it and copy it, and I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you. Peace.